What is going on, my friends? My name is Parker Andriese, DJ of 10 years and host of Behind the Energy podcast. I've been able to meet some pretty awesome people along the way, and we're bringing them on here to go behind the energy, sharing their stories, lessons learned, and shine light on some of their major milestones. If you're into DJing, the event industry, or entrepreneurship, I think you'll dig the show. I really appreciate you being here with me. Now that we've set the table, it's time to jump right in and get started with today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 46 of Behind the Energy podcast. We are digging deep to bring forth the remaining energy, at least I am, for this show. Listeners, we had our 10-year celebration last night, and we were up super late. I think I went to bed around 4:30 and woke up at 9. So we're here making it happen. And I'm in the house with my man, Mr. Shah, right now, all the way from Columbus, Ohio.
Thanks for having me. Cleveland, close enough.
Cleveland, okay.
Close enough. Columbus is what Ohio is known for. No one really wants to go to Cleveland.
We're not even 60 seconds in, and I already butchered.
It's all good, man. You're half asleep. Birthday boy. So if you're at home, say happy birthday to him. Text him. Wish him happy birthday while you're watching this.
I'm gonna get texts like a month and a half from now because this isn't coming out for a little bit. But we're here. We're celebrating. Sobhit came from not Columbus. Oh gosh, this is where my brain's at. My energy level's at. Ohio. To celebrate the 10-year celebration and kick it with the Utah DJ squad.
Hell yeah, that's right.
And of course, while he's in town traveling, we wanted to get him on here to talk about his experience as a professional DJ in the event industry as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
That's right.
That's where we're at. You got more than 4 hours of sleep last night, though.
Yeah,
so you're gonna lead the conversation.
Slept pretty good, actually. Well, actually, the last weekend I had an event. I had 2 weddings, Friday and then Saturday. The first day was I left my house around 1 p.m. Didn't get home until 3:30 a.m. Reason being is because I had to make sure my trailer was at the next venue for the next day, and I drive an electric car, so I didn't want to have to go back and burn up my electric. So I dropped off my gear at the next venue.
From venue 1 on Friday?
Yes.
You went to venue 2?
Yes.
That same night?
Yes.
Dropped the trailer?
Dropped the trailer, okay. Went home, charged, went home. Then I woke up and got to the venue, which is 45 minutes away. I got there at 7:10 in the morning.
Why that early?
It was Indian weddings, man.
Wow.
They're a big job.
Wow.
So
my goodness.
Yeah, so I was there from 7:10 a.m. till about, that wedding ended at 11, but with all the breakdown and everything, I wasn't out of there till about 2 a.m.
Respect, bro.
So I know what you mean, man.
Do they have like a designated nap time, like from 2 to like 3:30? Like you get to go take a nap in your car?
Well, they had a lunch, so we did stuff ourselves.
A luncheon, okay.
2 ceremonies. Dude. Had a Bharat parade in the morning. Then they had the cocktail hour reception.
Wow.
So we did the sound for the second ceremony as well. They had a live quartet.
Wow.
So I was there on site all day. And of course we had to get some dry ice too. So we had to make sure.
You had the Dancing on the Clouds? Or dry ice for keeping your equipment?
No,
cool.
Yeah, for the Nimbus.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Sick, let's go.
So,
okay.
Yeah, had to make sure we got that all situated too.
So that was a week ago from yesterday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one hell of a weekend. You've charged your batteries, traveled here to Salt Lake, and we had one killer night. And what DJs have you connected with thus far since being in Utah?
It's absolutely amazing. When I lived here,
like this weekend though.
Oh, this weekend.
This weekend.
Well, I met obviously the gentleman that's going to be on here next from California,
Mr. Updike.
Met Argus.
Argus, yeah.
Argus.
Yep.
That was the first time meeting him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Obviously reconnected with a few of the DJ friends as well. And then just met a bunch of your friends and family, loved ones.
Awesome.
Yesterday.
And going boating with Jerry.
Going boating with Jerry.
After this, so Yeah,
Shout out to Jerry.
Yeah, one time shouts out DJ Jerry. Okay, so we're like bringing my thoughts together so we can start talking about your story. So one hell of a weekend, incredibly long event day, probably longer than most, I'd be willing to bet. And since then, recharged the batteries, traveled to Salt Lake. Awesome night last night. Already got the workout in, and you got a couple reps in for me, so thank you.
I did.
That's not
Extra
happening
set
for
of
me
pull-ups
today.
for my man over here.
I appreciate it. I can see it, bro. You're going to rip that shirt. Here until tomorrow. You're here until tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So I wanted to take a quick step back and talk about, I guess, how our paths initially crossed and what brought you to Utah. Were you here for about 2 years?
I was here for about a year, actually.
Year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It was a quick year. I mean, made a lot of great lifelong friendships, and obviously being in the beautiful state of Utah, enjoying the scenic route. And, it's definitely very different from the Midwest. So, and all the people that I've said about Utah to friends and family back home, they're like, why Utah? They never would have thought. And so definitely advocating to come see this place.
Had you been out here prior to moving?
First time. It was my first time here.
What inside you said, I want to go to Utah?
Well, actually, I dated a chick, and she moved here for work.
Okay.
And so I finished up grad school, and I was like, well, I guess I can, fly back pretty often, still continue my business back home, move out here, had plans, and I definitely don't regret it. It was an amazing experience here, and here we are.
You linked up.
we're here with the man, the myth, right?
Okay,
so
you're done with that. We in that year's time, though, something I just want to highlight on is like, and Alex, I think we'll talk about this in our next episode, but like the Utah DJ community, I feel like you made a strong effort in terms of like really integrating yourself and connecting with those here in Utah. I think we've got a really supportive community from what I've been told, and
very much.
Just like, I mean, Cameron's in the house right now. My experience here, though I've only grown up here, I feel like what we have here is something a little unique and special. I feel like you really leveraged yourself in that short time frame that you've been here, to really integrate yourself in the community and grow your company. Does that sound somewhat right? Like, I mean,
I definitely agree. I love the atmosphere that you folks have here, and I actually implemented that back in Ohio.
I remember talking about this on the phone. Yeah,
I said I'm gonna make that happen, and there's definitely been a huge change to back where we're from. We get together, we do mixed sessions, we do seminars, and at least once a year. Have you
presented or anything? Like, have you done a demonstration?
I kind of laid back, kind of sit behind the scenes.
Okay.
But I did make sure that we try to get together and just have that family sort of atmosphere. We're all in here to have a good time and service our clients, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. There's no ego, and I think a lot of people can learn from that. We help each other out, we learn from each other, and quite besides, even the biggest companies that you can even think of. I mean, I know companies in Ohio that are pulling in anywhere from $3 to $5 million a year. Like entertainment. Entertainment.
Goodness.
Oh yeah. Bands, production, DJing.
Wow.
And that's the thing. They can't even service all the clients. Like they can't even service.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
okay.
When you have a good connection with people, you help each other out, and that's the best thing about it. But my goal before I moved here, I didn't know anyone, of course. I'm leaving all my friends and family. So my goal was, well, I should reach out to the DJ community and make some friends, make some lifelong friends, and that's what happened. And I love it. And I talk about all the folks here, with even my own friends and family back home. It's very, very special, very much.
I love that.
So
as you're explaining this, it took me back to when we first linked up and got lunch at that kind of like poke bowl place.
Yes.
In
That was my first time having
in
that.
Lehigh.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Literally like not cooked fish.
Yeah.
Poke bowls. Poke.
Poke. Yeah, I totally butchered that.
Hawaiian poke.
You're probably cringing while you're listening to this right now. Damn, dude, that's wild. And hold on, what? That had to have been 3 years ago-ish?
Yeah.
Roughly 3
Pretty
years?
close.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So I want to take a step back even further beyond the 3 years, and I want to talk about your journey in terms of building S&S, and what the initial inspiration was, like what attracted you to music and DJing, and then the thought process of like, hey, I could build this into a company. And then I want to hear about the early days, and then we'll take some time to talk about like more of the current and like the destination, the traveling and all that stuff. So I'm going to turn it over to you for the next couple minutes in terms of like the beginning of it all. Sure.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people in this industry have a lot of things in common. They have a big passion for music. It's a nice outlet. It makes people feel good. And so, that's what it started with, just loving music. And being back in undergrad, I would host parties at my house or my apartment, and I just plug in on YouTube, and people would be dancing on tables.
How did you promote it?
I would just go up there and just my
word of mouth or flyers or social media. What was it?
'Cause I played rugby, so a lot of we had the rugby house, we had the rugby apartment, we would call it, and so we would just have the social right at our place right afterwards, or on the weekends we'd pregame at my place. So we'd have like 10, 15 people, just friends, family, whatever, come up and visit. And I would have a speaker, so I just plug in. This was before Spotify. This was before Apple Music.
Wow.
So I would just
so downloaded files on like your MP3 player or something, right?
No, actually, that's probably would have been the best way to do it. But I just went on YouTube. I remembered music really well. I was like, okay, I'm gonna type in this song. Okay, I think this next song would work.
Before they had ads or anything like that.
There might have been some commercials. I don't remember. But I just made it work.
Mid-party, you're fist bumping, and then
yeah.
Farmers Insurance or whatever comes up.
I'm searching. I'm like, oh, shoot. Oh, there's going to be like a 4-second ad on this YouTube.
That's when you fade it down. You're like, yo, how we doing out there, party people? What's up?
Right.
Yo, you got a drink in your hand?
Let's go.
Let's get 2 more.
And then there's this Mexican restaurant that served underage drinkers, so we would go there. And
as a freshman.
Oh yeah, I was like a freshman, and we would go to this place, and they had speakers there. So I'd plug in my phone, and I asked the bartender,
they would let you
plug in my phone. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. I was like, okay, cool.
I love that.
And I still have videos on it to this day. So that's where that kind of started. And then fast forward, I went to grad school. And so I'm a physical therapist. So I went to school for 7 years, busted my butt. And shout out to my man, Gianni. He messaged in our group chat and was like, does anyone want to DJ at this small bar Thursday night, 4 hours, $100, $25 an hour? That was more money than I've ever had because I was a grad student. Wasn't really making any money.
Stretched super thin.
Yeah. This was in... 2017, early 2017. And I took that gig, and that was a big step because I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I got Spotify at this time. I got it on my laptop, plugged it in, I would make playlists, I would do Spotify, and I just do Spotify. I would just Spotify it for 6, 7, 8 months. Every Thursday. People were also dancing on tables, raging. I was putting on Snapchat, Instagram. People were like, do you do weddings? Do you do bars? Do you do... Wow. I'm like, yeah, let's make it happen. Let's do it.
So Johnny really opened that door for you.
He did. Wow. He really did. And I'm going to send him this podcast because I don't know if he's not in the industry at all. So I'm going to send it to him. So I appreciate that.
What was his connection to this club bar?
Oh, he went there for undergrad.
He went there.
He went to that school. In undergrad. So it was a small, tiny bar.
Oh, okay. So just
local, small hometown. It's probably like somewhere like Logan, Utah, super north, like nowhere, farmland, whatever. There's nothing going on. Kind of like It's kind of like where I went to school in Ohio. Mm-hmm. So that's where it kind of started.
So if you're a college student, you know about this spot, or you've probably been there.
If you went to the college, yeah.
Okay.
But if you were in the neighboring city, you wouldn't even know about that bar.
Okay.
Because it's so small.
Okay. So you were regularly starting to do work there, and it was organizing on Spotify and playing to the crowd there. And then you started getting inquiries for private events and weddings.
That's it.
Okay.
And so it's where it snowballed from there. I bought equipment. Shout out to my mom as well, because I was going to take a loan out for my equipment. And she's like, well, we can sign up for this 0% APR credit card for a year, no interest. And she had faith in me. And she's the next main reason where this is turned into a business.
Because she believed in you and helped you get set up there.
Exactly.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. That's in a way like very similar.
I read that on the flyer.
Yeah, bro. I typed up this like 3-page like business plan. That's 16.
Proper way to do it.
And it was so off. There was no market research, nothing. But I did that, and then I saved up $1,000 working at Cafe Rio. And then I said, Mom and Dad, like, I want to do this. And that $1,000 benchmark and that submission, if you will, was like the confirmation, like, all right, Parker, we know you're invested. And then they helped me get set up with a loan, and I just paid that off, like, in a month when I didn't have an event or I only had one event. Like, I just used my Cafe Rio money to pay that. And so very similar, like in terms of like support from parents and like that initial first purchase of speakers too.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Dude, that day, that's probably one of the highlights too, when you first get the new speakers and you get that smell. And they haven't even. There's no oil. There's no dust. There's no dents, bro. I still remember it.
Oh my gosh! I remember my buddy Pat that I went to school with. He had a Jeep, and I had a little sedan, which is funny because I was able to haul all my gear and one of my subs in my sedan.
Let's go.
I was finagling it in the front seat of my Volkswagen 2008 Volkswagen GLI.
Let's go.
I was able to fit it perfectly in. No, not really no scratches, but barely fit it in, and it worked. 2 tops, controller, mics, whatever, facade, whatever I needed, stands, and that's it. We're ready to roll. We're rocking. So that's awesome because people in your life are the reason why you had that get go, that jump start is what you needed.
Start with mom and dad.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm curious. What was the conversation in your head like, or the thought process in terms of, so you're transitioning to doing more private events, but more specifically transitioning into mixing more as a DJ? Because like, this is very high level, but I think song selection and timing are like the number one priority, and then the mixing falls next in line, if you will, and the MCing.
Very much, I agree. 100%.
What was kind of like your thought process when you're like, yo, like, I'm doing this more regularly. I want to learn how to mix, or like I want to do it physically on a deck or on turntables or on a controller. Like, what was that like for you, and when did that come in line as you started doing more private events?
Great question. Yeah, because when my first event was in November 2017, I didn't know how to mix. I just knew music well, and so I just do my best. And luckily, that's how I got by for a while, and then just teaching myself how to mix. And I think what I did learn was eventually I learned, I got it down, but I was not transitioning in and out at the right times of the song. Maybe I'd cut it too short, and so that was my problem. And so during COVID, I really worked on that a lot. I worked on that a ton.
What does that mean for you? Like, I'm sure I could piece that together, but like for the listeners and someone who's not a DJ, like, what does that mean?
It's very important because you want to be able to not only know what to play, but it's how you play it, right? It's how you mix it together, how you curate that art. because I can go back and play top 10 songs, top 20 songs of each year at a wedding or at a party at an event, but that's just not how it works. The beauty behind DJing is creating a nice wave of sets or depicting on the type of art and how you want to communicate with the crowd, right? You want to obviously read the crowd is what really makes a DJ, is knowing you're in a room full of strangers, what is going to make them enjoy what you have to offer. And so that's what mixing helps with. Because if you play 3-4 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes into a song, every song, unfortunately, people will get bored. And so you do need to know how to mix. And so transition out. You can transition very quickly. You can play a minute of a song. You could play 50 seconds of a song, go into the next song, or you could ride it out for another 2.5 minutes, and then bring in another track. It's just it depends on what type of song, how's the crowd feeling, if they're enjoying that song. You know, you definitely don't want to cut them out too, right? Or if you want to and be an a-hole about it, it's up to you.
So what I'm collecting right now is like your transitions generally range. Like it could be a super quick, like fast hit, or, you know, depending on the song, you might play it quite a bit longer. I was going to ask you, like, do you tend to range on more of the quicker mixing, or like somewhere in between, or does it really range depending on the song and the crowd?
I think it ranges between the sound and the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I'm going to step back once more, and I wasn't clear in my question. In terms of working on your craft and your mixing during the pandemic,
sure,
what did that look like? What does that mean for you? I'm sure I can assume and piece that together, but like for people who are not DJs and maybe interested in DJing or just interested in your work, what we're doing here, what does working on your mixing mean?
Well, not only does it service our clients,
but like the physical, like what are you doing? Does that make sense?
Oh, how am I doing it? Like what am I doing to prove?
Yes, to sharpen the blade. Yes.
Gotcha.
When you got your headphones on.
Yeah. Go put a crate down, drag and drop 15, 20, 30 songs that you really enjoy, and just master all those songs. And once you get that down, then challenge yourself a little bit. Don't even use your folders. And for those that don't know, in the software, they're called crates. They're essentially folders. And we create a crate or folder of different genres, different songs, certain events, whatever. Go to all your music and just go from top to bottom. Start with 60 BPMs and work your way up, and see and make your own mashes. Right, that's another way to.
Rather than like sticking in a particular crate or playlist, venturing out and just like even just scrolling in random songs and incorporating those in your mixing.
Yeah, okay. And then working on timing. So then figure out a song. You know, if you're listening to a song, Mia by Drake, you're playing a song. You want him to finish his verse. You want him to finish the chorus. Find out a part of the song that you want to transition out when you think would be the best part. So that would be the best way to sharpen your skills too. And then use that next song for the timing wise. So I think that's what I did, was because I would cut it out maybe a little too early, a little too late, or there would be a little gap in between each of the transitions. So maybe I try to go lyric of the next song, or, you know, different techniques on that aspect to try to sharpen that.
I think the word timing in terms of DJing is so applicable in so many ways, conversations, topics. In my time, just mixing with friends and like having mix sessions, or like trying to like share some thoughts or techniques, timing consistently comes up as like one of the number one, if not the number one topics. How did you begin to understand the importance, or the importance of timing, or like when or how did it click for you that I need to transition here at this point in the song and not 4 seconds before or 4 seconds after.
So I had a great conversation. Shout out to my buddy DJ Justin, Dynasty AVE out of DC, one of the most prestigious companies in the entire country.
Do you know Justin's last name by chance?
Justin, man, I should know your last name, but I don't.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I was just curious if I knew. Anyways.
No, he's an Indian DJ out of DJ Indian MC out of DC. But I had a great conversation with him, and this is what made it click in my mind, is that each song that you listen to between the intro and the drop, or the intro and the lyrics, most of the time is 16 count. So that's what helped me. And after, from the beginning of the chorus to the end of the chorus, usually around 16 beats as well.
16 or 32, yeah.
Or 32, right? So you chop it up as you will. You want to perform the timing where if you want to do a 4 second count, okay, know that when 4 seconds before that next drop, you want to cue up your next song and then have 4 seconds or 4 beats into the next song. And that's what clicked for me. And sometimes I'll mix it up. I'll mix it in at 8 seconds. Maybe I'll do 4. Maybe I'll do all 16. It just depends on the song.
The song that you're mixing out has, let's say it has 8 counts left, 8 bars left, 8 counts left. The song you're bringing in, you have a cue point set at 8 counts prior to where the first verse starts, or like the build up starts.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, and that's
understanding
what clicked for me.
The structure in terms of counts is what made it click for you.
Yes, and that was the conversation I had with my buddy Justin, because I didn't know, I didn't have a clue. And sometimes you would bring in a song and it'd be like, there's some beats going, and then it drops and cool. But you can get by doing that. But I think if you want to perform, just like what you did last night, man, the whole night. I had to pull up some of the clips from this. Can I do that real quick?
I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to see it, but like it's okay, bro.
Man, all right. Well, make sure you go on his Instagram, and when this documentary comes out, it was nuts. It was nuts. It was such a good time.
It's a good time, and
this guy is the best DJ I know.
No,
him and Jerry are the absolute best DJs I know.
Dude, I gotta introduce you to some friends of mine.
Well, obviously you don't know your own skill.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
I could say that with complete honesty, man.
Thank you.
You're away with on the turntables. The creativity, of course, the flawless mixing. And I've learned a lot even from you.
Thank you, bro.
I have.
I remember listening to mixes.
Yeah.
I remember it. I wanted to jump back to counting because I love that your friend took the time to help you really understand that.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good friend. Justin, I haven't met him, but that's awesome. You now with your mixing talent, your level right now, and like what I was doing last night performing. You're counting constantly, even though you don't even realize it. Like, I mean, you begin to listen to the songs, the really popular ones, like, and you know the structure of it just because you listen to it so frequently. But like where you're at as a DJ, as a performer, and where I'm at, like constantly counting, and like I'm not even thinking about it just because like there's that repetition. But like when you first are introduced to the idea, you're like, oh my God, this is what are you talking about? Like I remember trying to tell my friend about like the 32 count structure, the 64 count, like
sounds like gibberish.
It does. And like it makes it sound so complicated, but it's truly not once you begin to identify the structure in most songs. Obviously not all songs are the same, but most follow that 32-64.
Exactly. Structure. And when you can't, then you can work it. You can be creative with it. There's many different things you can do that's a little more advanced level. Getting that timing right with the extra things you can do to make it smooth. And as Russ says it's like putting shoes in a dryer. You don't want that. Right?
That's how
you don't
want.
I love that analogy.
Oh, bro,
it's so funny.
As a DJ, when I either do that on accident or when I hear that, I just
Yeah, cut out real
take
quick.
a deep breath and then.
No one heard it. Oh, cut it out.
And yeah, I actually did that. I did that last night. I came in, I think, 8 or 16 counts too early, but I didn't bring the volume up all the way. So then I looped it and I backspin it out to like soften the mistake. And then I brought it in. But when I brought it in the next time at the right time, I brought it in with full volume. So it came in and, it sounded a lot more intentional.
Yeah.
Speaking of timing, I'm going to transition the topic of conversations because our timing for the shows or the episodes wrapping up here shortly. I want to talk about more current status of S&S. I want to talk about traveling because you've done events in how many states now?
I think at this point, 7 or 8 states.
Do you realize how dope that is? And how big of a
it's amazing
accomplishment and like the level of responsibility that requires?
It's very much.
I haven't even done it, but like that's just my assumption.
Yeah. I think we're in 7 different states and 2 different countries.
2 different countries.
Mm-hmm.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Oh my! Did you get to spin out of the country?
I did.
Like not the team. You
no,
got
that was
to do
me.
those events?
Yeah. We did an event at Punta Cana, and then we went to Mexico, Cancun.
I saw some of those photos.
Yeah, and we're going to Vallarta this year,
dude.
And it's a blessing, man. It's great. This is a part where all your hard work, all those times where you choose your hard also in life. You pick your hard. You can work very hard in at a job that you may like, you may not like, or you work hard as an entrepreneur, your own businessman. Mm-hmm. I never would have thought in a million years I'll be DJing full time and running a production and entertainment company. This is special, and I enjoy every moment of it, even with the stressful times.
My mind's moving a million miles an hour. You have gone through many years of schooling as well, and you have a career here elsewhere, and you're still doing that as well.
Yeah, just up until recently, actually.
Did you make a kind of a bigger pivot?
Well, I love what I do, my daytime job as a physical therapist, but I think I'll still be working here and there, helping out patients, because that's a big fulfillment in my life as well. More
one-on-one or like individual clients?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just here and there, but being in this business, you have to put everything, and that's what it takes.
It requires a lot.
Yeah.
And to be able to be successfully booking events in different states outside of the country, what, 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years in advance right now? Close to that?
Yeah, we have leads at the end of 2023 right now.
Wow.
Nothing in 2024, but we're filling up. Yeah, it's going great.
That's a lot on your plate. Something that I feel like I've collected and noticed from you is just your ability to scale and think big picture and accomplish that. Because you said 2017 is when you started playing at that club?
November 2017 was my first formal birthday party event.
Okay.
And then I started that summer. I believe, yeah, it was earlier that summer. Was at the bar.
At the bar. Okay. Mm-hmm. So summer 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that growth in 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, because it's summer 22 right now, is insane.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Yeah,
that's a lot of responsibility.
It's amazing.
And a lot of relationships you've built to be able to successfully pull off, high caliber events in different states. That's impressive. Okay, so sorry, one quick question in terms of traveling. For doing a destination event in another state, what's one thing that you've learned that you would recommend to a DJ doing that for their first time? Like, is it something to consider time-wise? Is it something to consider packing? Is it something completely out of the box that you never would have thought of? Is my question making sense?
Yeah, it does. You want to be very careful, especially if you're going to be in-state versus out-of-state, out of country for that matter. You want to make sure you pack up the basic essentials, of course. So I brought some extra cabling if I need to bring like a 3 or 4 foot XLR, if I need to bring some RCA to 3.5 millimeters, just in case. of course, you want to make sure your gear and you're all ready to go. I definitely recommend doing site visits, especially if you can make it happen.
Like,
so flying out
completely on a completely separate day,
separate day. Oh yeah, months before. I do that for my clients. I'll come back and I'll do a site visit.
Respect.
I'll make sure I see the layout. And we will make sure that we're ready. And if, of course, hire someone local, support another small business, someone that's that you can trust to do your production.
And how have you kind of tapped into those markets, found the people that's going to be reliable and do a great job for the production, the sound and the lighting? Because you're not, for the listeners, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to assume that a destination traveling DJ is not going to be bringing their gear anything more than the backup cables and maybe a controller and your laptop.
Very much.
How are you finding those people that are supporting you with the sound and the lighting of the production for the night?
Yeah, a couple different ways. I'll reach out to some other DJs that travel a lot as well. I will. I know quite a few DJing companies in many of the states already, just with networking. So I will, they're my go-tos. I'll reach out to them. In Mexico and Dominican, they usually use anywhere from two to four different production companies. Of course, like Encore is a big one.
What is?
Weddings by Encore.
Okay.
That's the big AV company, but the clients will work with them directly, and I'll give them a direction on what they need.
Oh, really?
I'll go through their guide of the document that they send over to them.
The rider. It's my rider.
Exactly.
My hotel's got to have the dopest gym because I got to get my workout in the morning.
Hell yeah, that's right. That's a requirement. That's another thing is health, man. Take care of your health. Being in this industry,
topic,
oh man,
that's a whole other podcast.
We could talk for another hour on that. Of course, I'm a physical therapist, so I have to be walk the walk and talk the talk, right? I got to be able to discuss those type of things. That's my next thing in this industry. I want to do is bring that to the table, more wellness aspect.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I know you're a big dreamer, and I mean, just when we were talking on the phone, like, it had been maybe 2 months ago, just talking about like this weekend and whatnot, like. Just talking big ideas, and to see what you've done in 5 years is honestly so impressive.
I appreciate that.
You got 2 years on me, 3 years on me?
Yeah, I'm 28.
You got one? Oh my God, bro. I got to catch up. You got one.
This guy's been in business for 10 years doing 700 plus events. But that's a round of applause right there, man.
Traveling to different states yet, dude. That's crazy.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you provide exceptional service, you're in business. You had all the love in that room yesterday. It was just, I've never seen anything like it. I'll be honest. I've never seen anything like it. Of course, the production was lovely. I really enjoyed everything, but the connection that you made with those folks there, you definitely have something great there. There's all those people in the room cared about you. They were there to support you on a Saturday night. I think that's something to say. That's something to be proud of as well. And growing a business, that's one of the biggest leap of faith and one of the most gut-wrenching things you can ever do in your life is taking on that task, because I think, in my opinion, that's 1%, top 1%, is going off on your own. You could always have security elsewhere and with a job, but at the end of the day, growing that sort of business and all the love in the room and all the events you've done with the parties, high school parties, weddings, corporate events, man, you're doing it, man. And I envy that. So it doesn't even matter. Even if you DJ in one city, 5 cities, or anywhere else, it doesn't matter. But as long as you're providing that service and quality and making those memories happen, bringing that live energy, that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. So
thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The pleasure's mine. The fact that you're as busy you are as an entrepreneur and a DJ, and that you would take a weekend to fly out and sacrifice that weekend of, paying your monthly bills or investing in more equipment, like that means a lot. And I know, you're having fun and meeting some more of the cats and connecting with the DJs, but like straight up, thank you. I told Kev, Austin, and Dev, I'm like, I just want to give you guys like an extra thank you because there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, yes, they're on the team, but like every single DJ that said they were going to be there, and be there for the event ended up booking the event.
Mm-hmm.
And like, don't get me wrong, that kind of sucks. Like that was kind of shitty for me, but I also recognize and understand that like this is a Saturday in the prime wedding season of the year.
Yeah,
and
June
so
25th
and if this is your full-time job, how you're providing for your family, how you're paying your mortgage, like I understand that to a level and I respect that. So what I'm trying to say is thank you for being here. It's so dope, and
it's my pleasure, man. I knew I wouldn't be able to miss it, and I'm glad to here to support you. I mean, it's an incredible journey, and I knew it was going to be a good time, and of course another reason to come see you guys. I wouldn't miss it for sure.
Where can the people find you? Check out more about S&S and all the good stuff.
Yeah, if you'd like to check us out, follow along the journey we do. And mainly the South Asian wedding industry allows me to travel, so that's a great niche to have. So try to find a niche in whatever you do, whatever you do in life. Doesn't have to be entertainment related, but
where's your lane? Where's your groove?
Exactly. But yeah, if you want to check us out, my company is at S&S Prod Entertainment. So check it out, follow along. Of course, we'll follow you back, and yeah.
SS is for the initials, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure.
That's my initials, yeah. So
I thought I knew that, but for a second there, I'm like, did I just totally
get
this wrong the whole time? Holy shit! What else did I botch?
You didn't botch where I'm from, but it's all
not
good.
Columbus. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a destination episode of Behind the Energy podcast, and I actually remember we are on episode 46 right now.
Season what? 3?
Season 3. This is season 3,
Season
baby.
3. That's amazing, man. I love that you've done this. This is great.
Thank you.
This is pretty dope.
It's been one hell of a journey, and like it's definitely grown. But I'm stoked to have like Steve Aoki and those kind of guests on here only in a matter of time. And
yeah, you can get cake down here. In your own studio.
Oh shoot, we'll be baking cakes with Stevie Aoki. But that's not going to happen on this episode, folks. We'll catch you next week for episode 47 of Behind the Energy podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, muchas gracias, namaste. Until next time, hasta la vista. That is a wrap. Thank you for listening and going behind the energy with me. If you loved it, thumbs up it. You can follow me on social media at Parker Andriese. And check us all out at bringingtheenergy.com. As for now, we are signing off, and I'll catch you next week for another episode. Peace.